Hey guys, Lord here, back in with another action figure review. Today we'll be taking a look at the DC Multiverse Target exclusive. So OG, because it is Target after all. At least you can find the crap there. Cassandra, Kane, a black girl, okay? Because I can't resist the chance I get to do my Mr. Mackey from South Park voice. This, of course, is brought to us by the fine folks over at McFarlane Toys, okay? And truth be told, I know next to nothing about this version of Batgirl other than I always liked the suit. Thought it looked really cool. And I am very much familiar with her DC Superheroes figure from way back in ye old Mattel DC days. So there is that. Although I don't think she was branded as Cassandra Kane. I think she was branded as Stealth Suit Batgirl. But we all knew what it was, right? And there was a Batman to complement it. So hopefully we do get a Batman to complement this version of Batgirl with a full mask. Because I gotta tell you, that look is pretty bussin'. So with that being said, we cut right to the chase and get into the meat and taters of this review and take a look at all Cassandra Kane, okay. Let's offer in terms of accessories, starting off with an oversized Batarang, because of course. What is the deal with these things not fitting in the hand? It's pretty hilarious. But an accessory that does fit in her hand, this bat grapple with the shooty grapple coming out of it. This very much fits in her hand, very well. That said, I would have liked some fist hands for this figure. I think would have been nice considering she is reuse of the very first Batgirl McFarlane toys ever made way back in 2020, year one of the DC Multiverse line, in fact. Looked a little bit more like the, I'll say, Batgirl from Burnside. If you're familiar with that Mattel DC Multiverse figure, it's like a McFarlane version of that. That said, she is not 100% reuse of that. She does have a new upper torso, at least, a new head, and new cape technology. Not only is it soft goods, but there's something in there that probably prohibits them from packing extra hands in the box. I had to assume. But on top of all that, which really wasn't much, it does come with a collectible trading card as I smack the camera. And it's an interesting read-up on her. I hope my reader can pick this up because I was having trouble doing this the first time. So let's see what we can do here.
Cassandra Kane, Batgirl's TM, data file, real name, Cassandra Kane. Cassandra Kane debuted during the No Man's Land saga. She stalked Earthquake Shattered, Gotham City like a solitary, silent ghost enforcing Batman's law as the fourth Batgirl. Upon officially joining the Batman family, her training was in reading, writing, and social interaction, not combat. When she learned the world's greatest killer, Lady Shiva was her mother. Cassandra briefly led the League of Assassins, before being legally adopted by Bruce Wayne, DH, Multiverse.
And there you go. She is the daughter of Lady Shiva, who, if I'm not mistaken, we've only ever gotten a figure of from the DC Collectibles Arkham Origins line? That said, I wonder who her father is. Is it Deathstroke? Probably not, because that'd be bussin'. But taking a closer look at her, get her off the stand. Not for nothing, it mentioned she was the fourth Batgirl. I know there's a blonde one, and I know Barbara, homegirl, my personal favorite, because of course everyone's favorite's Barbara Gordon, right? Let's not kid ourselves. She does have the hockey puck display stand we've seen with all McFarlane Toys releases, but who is the third? Because I know there's the blonde one, there's Barbara. Is the other one Batwoman? Because there was a Batwoman, but I guess she'd have to be a Batgirl before she was Batwoman, right? So let me know in the comments if you know who that is. But as far as this figure goes, again, reuse of that previous Batgirl. You know, the arms are the same. She's got the same gloves, same feet, same legs. She's pretty tall too. So she is ever so slightly out of scale, but it'll work. It's fine. But as far as articulation goes, her Very Black Panther-inspired mask. It looks up and down. Decent, even though it's a very primitive double ball peg. It does tilt and rotate, of course. Shoulders go out, back down. They do rotate. She's got the floaty cap in there. Bicep swivel, double elbow. Nice and crunchy. Works fine. Ball hinge wrist. Rotates, hinges, and rotates again. She's got 2 trigger fingers, which works for the bat grapple. You can put it in either hand. Her torso is kind of like the Nightwing we looked at the other day, which is funny because the Batgirl and the Nightwing, that the 2 gold labels we've looked at this past week are based on, came out in the same wave in the same year. But she's got just the single ball peg with a little bit of rotation. She doesn't seem to have very much in terms of waist movement, just some tilt. Does appear to spin, but it's very hindered. Her hips will kick out to the side. Ironically, she's got tighter hips than the Barbara Gordon Batgirl I have on this body buck. Needs a kick forward and back. She does have a little thigh swivel in there. Not much. Double knee. Nice and crunchy for the most part. She does have a ball hinge ankle, a hinge, a rocker, and a toe joint. A decent amount of tread on her boots and these little spurs, so be careful about those. But the piece de resistance with this figure is she's got a freaking wired cape. So you could spread her cape out as if she's doing the I'm Batman pose, or in this case, I am Batgirl pose. Or in my case, I am Batgirl, okay. But there you go. And you know, this is not like the top of the line fabric material. It feels like a t-shirt, to be honest with you. But you know, a t-shirt quality piece of fabric is better than, well, quite frankly, what Masterverse was using when they first came out. That weird felt shit. But it's better than Hasbro soft goods, which is pretty much nothing at all for the most part. But there you go. You got the cape. It's pretty. That's pretty bussin'. I'm not gonna lie. I like this cape a lot. You can have it kind of rest over her shoulders a little bit. Tuck it behind the spikes there. Give her the over-the-shoulder look. That's cool. I dig that. And not for nothing, she is a 90s character. So it ticks a lot of boxes for me. I like this version of Batgirl because of that. Because let's face it, if I was to be reborn, it would be in like 1985, so I could live in the 90s and remember most of it. Because I was born in 97. I didn't know who this chick was. I know who she is now, thanks to this figure and that old Mattel one, to be honest with you, but I did not remember her name. But once I saw this revealed, I was like, oh yeah, Mattel had one of these. So it's cool to see McFarlane going back and giving us, in my opinion, slight upgrades to those Mattel figures. I still like the old Mattel line, but they do have their issues. Matter of fact, so did some new Mattel figures, to be honest with you, but that's another story for another day. But there she is, with her cape draped on the ground. Looking pretty cool. I dig it. So, with that being said, it's time now that we move right along and take a look at some size comparisons. First up, here is good old Cassandra Kane, okay. Alongside a couple other members of the Bat family. We have the Barbara Gordon Batgirl from way back in McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Year 1 and possibly even Wave 1. Again, she came out with that Build-A-Batmobile, whatever the heck it was, wave way back when. But as you can see, they are the exact same height because they are the exact same body block. But I think we can all agree that McFarlane Toys has come very far since this particular Batgirl mold, and I'm surprised they didn't spring for the Three Jokers one for Cassandra Kane, but I don't mind this one being reused here, and as I mentioned, the joint quality is a little better on Cassandra Kane than on Barbara Gordon. That said, we also have the other gold label Bat Family kind of sort of exclusive that's out right now. This is courtesy of Wally World, aka Walmart. We got the Vampire Nightwing, who is also on the very old, kind of dated Nightwing body, but from the very same wave as this Batgirl. Kind of crazy to see these two bucks reused so close to one another. And, you know, still not too bad as far as mold degradation goes. I mean, this Nightwing has its issues, but it's not floppy loose like Marvel Legends after they reuse a body buck, right? So let's bring in our two regulars, the Mythic Legion's Brother Manibulus. Right there. And the infamous 11 Spawn. This video doesn't have enough Mr. Mackey voice cues in it. And of course, good old Al Simmons towers over Cassandra Kane because he is a full-grown adult. And if I'm not mistaken, Cassandra Kane is a teenager. So she's a little big, especially compared to some of the Batman figures, but I guess if you use the Hush Batman, probably good enough. That said, I'd like to see is her name Cyan version of She-Spawn, or the version of She-Spawn that is fully masked. We got the Jessica Priest version in the Spawn Universe line. I'd like to see the other version, you know? So that being said, it's time now that we wrap things up. Some final thoughts. Overall, and compared to the other gold label exclusives we've been taking a look at on the channel this past week, I gotta tell you that good old Cassandra Kane, or should I say Cassandra Kane, okay, a Batgirl, okay, is probably my favorite, not only because of the wired cape, but aesthetically, just does something for me. I like the very sleek and slick all black bat suit with the faceless mask, or the full mask, as opposed to the exposed kind of nose and mouth and chin area we're used to seeing with a lot of the Bat Family. And aside from not having an alternate pair of fists, I think as far as accessories go, maybe an alternate head would have been nice. She's pretty alright, you know, she does come with the same accessories as the Batgirl that utilized some of these parts before, but that should be expected. The only major issue I have with this figure, other than that, is the battering's too damn big, just like it was on that other Batgirl. So, you know, take that into consideration. You're probably not going to be able to use that. I'm surprised I got it to fit in her hand here, but, you know, and the good old wedging it in there, some elbow grease can't do, right? So, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Until next time, catch you guys later.